started on your summertime fine snatch you on the baby. Because let me tell y'all, it's my last thing. My booty gonna be out. The cheeks are going to be out regardless. Regardless. The cheeks are gonna be out.
First touch, get left in the dust. No room to judge. Talking business, slow child. Lips, first touch, get left in the dust.
Hello, fit chicks and fit beauties. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, The Done Elizabeth, and y'all already know what time it is. Like, we are approaching summer. If nobody ever told you that you already summertime fine, let me be the first to tell you, baby, you're already summertime fine. With that being said, like, I know for me, I'm already summertime fine. But you already know we want to elevate it a little bit. We want to snatch it up just a little bit more. So I'm going to be giving y'all some quick tips for you to see some changes by time summertime come. So the official date is for summer is about a little over 100 days away. And you will be surprised at how much you could do. Like, how much change you can see within 100 days of consistency. So, I'm going to give y'all a rundown. And so, when I do give you this rundown, I want you to understand that it does take time. And the more consistent, the faster your results. Somebody could easily tell you to eat 1,200 calories a day. You could drop 50 pounds. And then after that, if you don't continue on with it, your body just will, like, literally pack it all back on. But I'm going to tell you the sustainable way to see a change, a way that's going to be mentally healthy, physically healthy, and overall great for your body and great for you to see results in a great period of time, and also for you to sustain the results long term. Okay, you know me, baby, I'm all about sustainability, and I'm all about being realistic and reasonable, and overall setting goals and taking steps that are better for our overall health. Not something quick, not something that's extreme, that's not physically or mentally healthy, like just being 100. Like, y'all know me, I'm being 100. Number one is going to be to make sure that you're in a caloric deficit. So a lot of people like, how do I even make sure that I'm in a caloric deficit? Find your online calculator. If you're watching this video, if you email me, I'll put my email in my Instagram below. Email me or DM me, Nutrition Ready, and I can calculate your caloric deficit for you. I know some people get a little tricky with how do I track this or how do I track that. Literally, everything that we eat has nutrition facts. You use those nutrition facts to guide you into logging those calories, logging those macros. If you want to see your body really recomposition, you want to focus on macros as well as your calories. So once you get your caloric deficit, what I suggest that you do, what really works for me is tracking out 3 days worth of food. Keeping it simple and keeping it similar is going to be your key. Keeping your meals simple and keeping your meal, like your daily eating, similar is going to be very simple because your body is going to enjoy that. Enjoy feeding it the same thing. You want to choose volume food. So, of course, packing up with a lot of fruits and vegetables that's going to be lower in calorie and that's going to give you more food. Think of your caloric deficit as your spending budget. Like, if you have $2,000 to spend, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, why would you spend $1,500 on something this small and then you still have the rest of the day and all you have is $500 left? So you want to think of your caloric deficit as the same way. If you're a person that has a huge appetite, you want to make sure that you're breaking your meals up throughout the day in order to make sure that you're staying satisfied. We don't want to be super hungry. We want it to be sustainable. So being hungry 24/7 is more than likely going to lead to you eating up everything. Trust me, been there, done that. So for sure, figure out your caloric deficit. Once again, if you DM me or email me with Nutrition Ready, I will leave where to email me and DM me. You could get your nutrition plan for $15 that will include your caloric deficit. Track out 3 days in advance. 3 days of all the way tracking it out, and then put it in rotation. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then come Thursday, you starting back off with the first day. Keep it simple, keep it similar. 80% of the time, if you following those 3 days, and then say for instance the weekend come and you decide, okay, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have 2 drinks, and I'm gonna have a meal out. And then the next day you get right back on track. You literally will not ruin your progress. So always keep in mind that as long as you stay consistent 80% of the time, that 20% will not ruin your progress. Just try not to make it a habit to consistently keep eating foods that's not being tracked. Because remember, we trying to get snatched by summertime. The shorter the time period, the more you're going to need to be consistent in order to see those results. So get your caloric deficit. Email me or message me on Instagram to get your plan for $15 that will include your caloric deficit so that you can get started. That's going to be number one when it comes to seeing results. The more consistent you are with hitting that nutrition every day, baby, let me tell you, you will be surprised at how fast your body will change when you literally think of nutrition as your main tool to your transformation, your main tool as to getting your body to transform in this amount of time. Okay? So that's going to be number one. Number two is going to be strength training 2 to 3 times a week. If you have 20 to 30 minutes to spare, get in some resistance training, because while you're dropping weight and dropping body fat, you want to keep some composition. You want to be able to build as much muscle as possible. Like, you literally want to build as much muscle as possible. Process. Because trust me, when I first started my journey, I did tons of cardio, and all I did was get really skinny, and I didn't have as much definition as I have now. I have quads, my booty is big, like I have literally all the definition that I would like to have. Of course, you know, your girl would like a little bit more booty, but we're working on that. That takes time. So aim to strength train 2 to 3 times a week. Having a structured workout program, of course, will be more beneficial, but if you can get in the gym for 20 to 30 minutes 2 to 3 times a week, making sure you squatting, lunging, hinging, the simple movements, keeping it very similar, increasing your weight over time, that will be key. Make sure that you strength train. And of course, you know your girl got you. If you need a workout guide, beginner friendly, wherever you at in your journey, I will leave those details below. I like to keep it very simple when it comes to my workout routine. Nothing excessive. Mainly focusing on nutrition and just using the exercise as accessories to getting your girl what she want her body to be. Alright, so number 3, which a lot of people look over, is aiming to hit 8 to 10,000 steps a day. If you aim to hit 8 to 10,000 steps a day, you are literally putting yourself so much closer to where you're trying to be. Those 8 to 10,000 steps a day could be walking in a park as just a form of cardio, or it could just be casually taking extra steps to get up and move around the house. Like me, I sit at my computer a lot throughout the day working on things, editing, different type of things. So I have to consciously make it a habit to get up and walk around to make sure that I'm still hitting those daily, my daily step goals, just to keep my body moving. Because when you sedentary, your body is not working as much as it would if you're moving around a lot more often. Take that note. Alright, number 4, drink a gallon of water a day. You are going to be going to the restroom, which is perfectly fine. Flushing out all that excess sodium, flushing out all that excess salt, making sure your body stay hydrated so that you have the energy to work out is going to be key. Literally, when you eating a lot of carbs that your body is not used to, your body holds on to those, like your body holds that water. So say for instance, you go out on the weekend, you eat a whole bunch of stuff that you're not used to eating because of the sodium, because of the extra things that they're putting in the food that your body isn't used to. You might see the scale fluctuate. Making sure that you keep your body hydrated will help flush out all of that excess that is not necessarily fat gain, it's just water weight. So making sure you keep your body hydrated will help you flush out all of that excess salt and sodium that we don't need on the waistline. Because remember, we trying to get right and we trying to get tizzy, okay? Find ways to cope with stress. Practice self-love. So a lot of things, one thing that I notice about myself is like when I put myself on a time frame to say, okay, done, you about to get right, you about to get tight. You have to have a way of coping with stress. Because for me, when I tend to get a little overwhelmed or I tend to get a little stressed out, I like to eat. Like, I am a big emotional eater. Like, when my period comes, I want to eat. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I want to eat. When I'm feeling like I'm accomplished, I want to eat some stuff up. Which, does not necessarily align with my goals. So finding ways to cope with stress or finding ways to celebrate that does not have to be tons of food. Because when I go big, baby, I go big or I go home. Like, I like to eat down. And it's not me telling myself don't eat. It's telling myself, like, are you eating because you're hungry? Are you eating because you really want this? Or are you eating because you want to feel better about something else that's going on? So finding ways to cope with stress will be definitely helpful with this process. Taking walks, going to get a massage, going to do a little retail therapy, going to hang out with friends. Being around people will also be helpful to make sure you're not just consumed and in a box all day. Because like me, I sit in my house all day and be like, dang, done. You need to get out. You need to do something. So go interact, go hang out, find ways to make sure that you're relief of stress, because you don't want that stress to build up. A lot of people do not realize that stress, not getting enough sleep, literally can delay your progress when it comes to weight loss or fat loss. So we want to make sure that we keeping all those things in check. Alright, so now last but not least is cardio. Now, if you really want to enhance your results, I would recommend completing 120 minutes of cardio per week. You do not have to do this much cardio, but if you have the time and you want to enhance those results, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. 120 minutes of cardio per week. That's literally either 20 to 30 minutes per day or 2-hour sessions, maybe 2 45-minute sessions. You could break it up at however you want to break it up. That's literally could be a 20 to 30-minute walk per day, on top of the 2 to 3 times of strength training per week. That will be your workout schedule. I like to incorporate my cardio on 2 days out the week, and then of course go engage in some fun ways of cardio on the weekends. So you could do a dance video on YouTube. You could go for a walk with friends. If you find somebody that you have not seen for a while, or a friend you just love to talk to, be like, friend, let's go for a walk. And you will be surprised at how long you could walk for like an hour just talking about any and everything. Find ways to get active. Go to a dance class. Go to a step class. Go to any type of aerobics. You could go to a cycling class. If you like to swim, you can go swim. Anything that's fun for you as far as cardio, or if you're a person that really don't like working out, that finding a friend to go walk with is really going to be helpful, because you'll be surprised at how much ground you will cover just having a casual and cordial conversation about anything. Because I done had a friend that we done went and walked, and we'll talk about everything under the sun, and next thing you know, I done looked up, we done been walking for an hour, we done did 3 miles, I done got so many steps. And that's also helpful to making sure you get that cardio in, because doing that cardio is going to make sure that you're putting your body in that deficit even more. So another thing that I wanted to add in that I know that a lot of people are questioning about, when you have your caloric deficit and you figure it out, and then sometimes MyFitnessPal will, if you add in your exercise, it will tell you to eat those calories back. You do not want to do that. That literally takes away the deficit. It creates a maintenance, because you eating back what you burned off, what they assume that you burned off. It's really no exact way to figure out how much your body is burning at a time. I've had people ask me, like, how much should I be burning per workout? Like, this watch right here is about 40% off. The machines that you see are about 20 to 30% off. So what you can control is how much you're intaking when you eating, and just making sure that you're doing the workouts, like making sure that you're hitting the workouts. So if you can't aim for 120 minutes of cardio per week, start off with 45. Start off with 20. If you could do 120-minute session of cardio the first week, and then the second week aim to do 30, and then the next week aim to do 45, and then the next week aim to do an hour, and then work your way up. While you're sticking to your nutrition, you still will get significant results. Stay obedient to the process, y'all. Y'all have to stay obedient to the process, because if you're not following it all the way through, or not giving enough time for your body to adjust, because one thing about our bodies is, like, our bodies fight to stay comfortable. Our bodies fight to stay at a certain point. A lot of these have a habit of staying in its comfort zone. So making sure that you're consistent, making sure that you adhering to the process, hitting that cardio, hitting that strength training. If anything, like, if you can't do the cardio, please make sure that you're doing the strength training, because the strength training is going to be really, really important. If anybody asks me, strength training will always outweigh cardio. Cardio is good for your heart and your overall health. So if you could get in a couple of steps, get in like 10-20 minute sessions, that's cool. But once again, if you want to enhance the results, 120 minutes of cardio per week will do the trick. Get that gallon of water down. Track those calories. Check those macros. Now, if you do this all the way through, you cannot tell me in 4 weeks you don't feel or see any type of change. And if after 4 weeks you don't feel or see any type of change, comment below under this video, and then we're going to talk about how we can adjust the plan and see what we need to do. But the first step is always making sure that you're in a caloric deficit. So once again, you could use an online calculator to get you started, or you could email me Nutrition Ready and get your caloric deficit calculated for $15 on sale, baby. We trying to get right and getting tight. For $15 to get you started on your summertime fine snatch you on the baby. Because let me tell y'all, this is my last thing. My booty gonna be out. The cheeks are going to be out regardless. Regardless. The cheeks are gonna be out. And I think your cheeks should be out too. And if you a person sitting there talking, baby, I'm too old for that. My body ain't ready for that. Child, please. Show it to whoever, okay? Because, baby, if you don't love yourself now, you don't love yourself how you look now. When you lose 50, 100 pounds, the way you feel on the inside will still be there. So make sure you also doing internal work. Make sure you're working on your inside more than you're working on your physical. Because you don't want to get to a place where you at your goal body or your goal weight and you feel like you're still unsatisfied. And when you feel like that, that means it's more internal work that needs to be done. So make sure that you're working on yourself, loving yourself each and every step of the way. And with that being said, y'all, let's get right and get tight, because period. Y'all know me, baby. I'm finna be in the gym. And when it's time to be outside, your girl gonna be outside, okay? So I hope this video was helpful. Remember, all the details that I mentioned in this video, as far as how to get in contact with me, how to get your nutrition plan, how to get your workout plan, I will leave that all in the details below. And with that being said, y'all already know the drill. Come back and mess with your girl. Peace out.